Congratulations, you just purchased a new rifle, but there's a few things you got to do before that first round is fired. Welcome to Connect the Dots. First thing you got to do is read the owner's manual. There's a lot of important information in this little booklet. Now, unless you have a photographic memory, you're not going to remember everything. So don't lose it. Put it in a place where you'll be able to find it years down the road. Before you take the family station wagon on a summer vacation, a mechanic usually gives it the once-over. The whole idea is to check to make sure that there are no big issues that can happen down the road. Your rifle needs the same thing. There are three main areas to look at. Number one, check the stock for any splits, chips, or dents. They might not be a big deal right now, but later on down the road, that little split can turn into Grand Canyon. The second thing you need to check is your barrel free-floated? Free-floated means nothing touches the barrel from the muzzle to the chamber. The second question you ask, should my barrel be free-floated? The general answer for single shot and bolt action rifles, the answer is yes. For most semi-automatic AR type rifles, probably not. A quick internet search will let you know if your barrel should be free-floated. It's a super easy way to check to see if it is. All I do is you take a dollar bill, wrap it around the barrel, and if it slides between the barrel and the stock up to the chamber, it's free-floated. Next thing, what happens if my barrel should be free-floated, but it's not? You can take the barrel out of stock. If you're handy with a Dremel, you can widen that barrel channel. Otherwise, take it to a gunsmith. The last thing you need to check are all the screws snug. Now, before you put the death grip on the torque wrench, check your owner's manual. A lot of them, they have a recommended foot-pounds of torque for each screw. Not all screws need to be gorilla tight. Check your owner's manual. If you are enjoying this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. That will help Connect the Dots continue to grow and get better. There's a lot more information on my website, ctdshooting.com. Thanks for watching. The third stage in your new rifle is you want to clean it. Now some of you are saying, well, hold on a second. I haven't even shot the thing yet. Why would I clean it? The answer is manufacturers have no idea of knowing when that rifle is going to be sold. Therefore, they apply a heavy dose of protectant to all the metal surfaces, inside and out. Who wants to buy a rusty rifle? You need to get that oil off of there before the heat and pressure of firing it bakes it to the metal. Another reason why you want to think about cleaning it, many rifles are test fired at the factory before they're shipped out. Those rifles are not cleaned. Yet another reason to clean your rifle. The factory oil has been removed. Now it's time to apply your own. It's kind of like when you were a kid and your dad told you to go dig that hole and fill it back up. Except for now, we are in charge of what kind, how much, and where the oil is applied. If there was a line in Vegas on the #1 missed job for rifles, all my money would go on greasing the lugs. A little bit of grease on the back of these lugs will go a long way in preventing galling and rust. After some use, wear marks will start to show up on the bolt. I like to take TW25 and apply it to those marks. I then massage the grease into the metal with my fingers and then wipe off any excess with a rag. I like to perform 3 safety tests on all my rifles. Always check to make sure that the rifle is unloaded. If any of these tests produce this click, take the rifle back or take it to a gunsmith. The first test, close the bolt, have the safety on, and just pull the trigger like normal. You're not trying to break anything. Just pull it like normal to make sure that the safety works. The second test, take the safety off and you want to slam close the bolt. What you're trying to do is replicate an excited bolt closing. You want to make sure that the rifle doesn't go off. The third safety test that I like to do is I close the bolt, take the safety off, and I'm going to drop the rifle from a couple inches. I have a towel here on the floor. You're not doing a high dive here, folks. Just a couple inches is all you need. The whole idea is you're trying to simulate stepping off of a rock or jumping over a log. You want to make sure that that rifle doesn't fire. Now it's time to test the trigger. As always, check to make sure that the rifle's unloaded, and we're going to dry fire the rifle. Pay attention to two things. Number one, how far that trigger moves, and number two, how much poundage it takes, how much force does it take to pull the trigger before you hear the click. Any movement of that trigger before you hear the click is called creep. Creep is an accuracy killer. Only you can decide how much is too much. If the rifle has too much creep in it, you can take it to a gunsmith, or you can have an aftermarket trigger installed. I'm a big fan of Timney triggers. Now, there is a little bit of caution here. Once you experience a trigger with no creep, you're going to want one on all your rifles. How much pressure you apply to the trigger before you hear the click is based on the poundage. £1 pound, 12 ounces. Your grandpa's 30-06 probably had a 4 to 5 pound trigger on it. Most of these newer bolt action rifles, they have adjustable triggers. So you can read the instruction manual and learn how to adjust them. One word of caution. That sub 1 pound trigger might feel super good in the gun room, but that could be a hazard, it could be a danger out in the field with gloves on. For me, a hunting rifle with a 2 pound trigger and no creep is a wonderful thing. Should we break in a new barrel? Holy smokes, is that a controversial topic? Personally, I believe in the idea, I believe in the merit behind barrel break-in, smoothing out the small burrs left after machining so it does not increase fouling. Although it's not 100% accurate, here's an example that'll help illustrate that. This 2x4 is going to act as the barrel. Those slivers left over, those act as the burrs left after machining. When we fire around, those slivers, they grab at the bullet, increasing the fouling. The idea behind barrel break-in is we sand those slivers, we smooth those burrs out so there's not that much left to grab at the bullets. I believe this is a controversial topic for two reasons. Number one, the term barrel break-in itself. Most custom barrels are hand lapped. The barrel makers, they have already taken out the small burrs left from their machining, so there's nothing left in the barrel to break in. Factory barrels, yeah, maybe there's something to break in. However, all barrels have a chamber cut with a chamber reamer. That's the part that we need to smooth out. So chamber break-in, or more specifically, throat break-in might be a better term. Second, it's very tough to come up with a correlation between barrel break-in and higher precision. In other words, if I break my barrel in, will it shoot tighter groups? That's a very tough thing to test. Every barrel is an individual, so you can see why there's a lot of controversy. My barrel break-in procedure is to fire 1 round, then clean. Fire 2 rounds, then clean. 3 rounds clean, etc., up to 5 rounds. After the combined 15 rounds, I will thoroughly deep clean the rifle. After that, I'll shoot 10 rounds and then before I clean. So those rounds might be for fire forming brass or they might be for tuning. I can tell when a barrel is broken in when it cleans up easily after those 10 rounds. And yeah, there is a change, you'll be able to tell. That's usually 50 to 75 round mark somewhere. After that, after the barrel's broken in, the precision window will tell me when to clean. Now, With all that being said, there are Hall of Fame bench rest shooters that do not break the barrels in. There are Hall of Fame bench rest shooters that swear by it. So my suggestion, find something that makes sense to you, find something that works for you, and go with it. It's now time to go shoot that new rifle. As always, be safe and have fun. It's time to enjoy the experience.